Clarke Schmidt left after 7 innings with a no-hitter intact. And of course people are upset with Aaron Boone. Schmidt, Brubaker combined on a one-hitter, and the Yankees blank the Orioles in the Bronx. MLB Game Night, every game, every night, and we are underway.
When that final out is made, you know it's time for Locked On MLB Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before. Only on Locked On MLB Game Night. Your team every day.
And welcome in, everyone. He is Lindsay Crosby, host of the Locked On Braves postcast. You can follow Lindsay on the X at Crosby Baseball. I'm Steve Lenox, host of the Locked On Red Sox postcast. You can follow me on the X at Lenox on Baseball. Mets 7 home runs and decide 7 losses in a row was enough. The Nationals, the Dodgers, they hit 8 home runs. Guess how many with anybody on base? None. Yeah, 8 home runs, nobody on base. Good job there. Walk-off winner for the Cards, and the Braves, or rather the Brewers, with a shutout win and their victory on Saturday as well. MLB Game Night presented by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Lindsay, we get right into it. Clarke Schmidt, 7 innings, no hits allowed against the Orioles on Saturday in the Bronx. Yankees come away with the shutout win. Gary Sanchez, former Yankee, the only hit that came in the 8th inning against JD Brubaker, who actually is a pretty good story all by himself. But yay or nay for Aaron Boone protecting his pitcher, worrying about long-term rather than perhaps history and perhaps a highlight on the resume of Clarke Schmidt?
The fact that he was over 100 pitches for the start of the 8th, I think I'm okay with it. If it's the 9th inning and he's at 103 pitches entering the 9th, give him a chance. But the fact that it's like he would have had to pitch 2 innings in the 100s, given all the injuries the Yankees have had, I'm fine with it. It's going to be unpopular opinion, but I'm fine with it.
Would you have been that way 5-10 years ago? Like me, have you gone into this thinking he wasn't going to get through 9 and they're protecting him, and you want Clarke Schmidt available for the rest of the season being healthy?
Yeah, as we've gotten the research that says the pitches when you're fatigued are more likely to injure you, I think I've shifted from let him do it to nope, pull him out unless he's very close. I'm okay with this. But 10 years ago, like to your point, probably wouldn't have been.
Again, just 1 base hit as the Orioles are blanked in Game 2 of the series. That series is now even at a game apiece. We got a youngster. And when I say youngster, younger than you, Lindsay, because I'm the old guy that Brian McKinnon is going to reference here. He's not all that happy with Aaron Boone. He understands it,
Really?
but certainly not happy.
Yankees get a 9-0 victory behind Clarke Schmidt's best career performance. I'm Brian McKinnon from Locked On Yankees, and the old man in me really absolutely hates Aaron Boone pulling Clarke Schmidt with 103 pitches on the day. His best career start, no hit stuff throughout it. You bring in Brubaker and Gary Sanchez. Who else breaks up the no-hitter? Overall, though, great performance. Volpe with 3 hits, including a home run. The Yankees were all over it. Solo shots, scoring runs every way possible. The bullpen was good, but Clarke Schmidt, his best career start, a lot of pitches. I guess I understand why you had to pull him, but I absolutely hate the move. We'll be discussing all of it on this week's editions of Locked On Yankees. See you there.
Brian, go with that old man appeal. It'll serve you well in your future. Hey, he's going to be happy when Clarke Schmidt is providing quality outings August, September, and maybe even to October for this Yankees team. This is a guy I like a lot. Liked him last year, was on the radar, all of a sudden had an injury, missed an extended period of time last year. He needs to be healthy. He's a real good 3 or 4 in that Yankee rotation.
And the fact that he missed a bunch of time last year and is pitching to a normal-ish workload this year is a reason to pull him and not ask him to do 2 more innings. He probably hasn't gone this deep into a game in a long time. And it's, again, the Yankees can't afford to have a starter go down, another starter go down. They've already lost a couple. So I'm okay with it. But I get his point, and I understand it's not going to be a popular decision. Credit to Aaron Boone for being willing to do it. Some managers would just be afraid to do it.
Yeah. Brubaker mentioned him. First MLB appearance since early October 2022 with the Pirates coming back from Tommy John surgery. The 4 solo home runs, Grisham, Ascara, Volpe, and Rice. Volpe solo home run, 2 RBIs, also had a triple in the win. Dean Kramer, Will Warren, pitching matchup on Sunday. Hey, the Orioles have a chance to take 2 out of 3 in the Bronx in that series.
And they're really going to want to because they don't get to play New York again until September 18th when ostensibly one of their seasons will be over already, right? The Orioles are probably, the season's going to be over by then. So they want to go out on a high note here and see if they can knock New York back a little bit in the East.
Yankees remain a game and a half up on the Rays in the AL East, and the Rays scoring 4 runs in the first inning, beat the Tigers in Tampa, Florida, 8-3. Rays are now 13-5 over their last 18 games. They've got 22 runs in winning the first 2 games of the series against the Tigers. Tigers, should you be a little nervous right now because they're hitting a little bump in the road?
I think everybody can have a bad series, right? They do have Casey Mize on the mound tomorrow versus Zach Littell. You feel like the Tigers have the advantage there. And to your point, the Rays have been incredibly hot. Junior Caminero is looking like a star. I'm not concerned about this if I'm the Tigers. I mean, yes, they've allowed 30 runs in their last 3 losses, but I think I'm okay right now. If this extends into the next series, then it's officially, okay, we got to do something to shake it up.
Tigers have lost 3 in a row for the 3rd time this season. Remember, they opened up the season with 3 straight losses. Lindsay mentioned it, Casey Mize, Zach Littell. That's the pitching matchup for Sunday. The Mets' 7-game losing streak does come to an end. Chris Schubert, Locked On Mets, says enough is enough. That losing streak is now in the rearview mirror. And Chris also providing a nice little nugget. Lots of home runs, all solo shots for the Mets, but a nice little nugget on Francisco Lindor as the Mets win in Philadelphia on Saturday.
Oh, so that's what winning feels like. The New York Mets snap their losing streak, halting it at 7 games. They defeat the Philadelphia Phillies by a final score of 11-4, and they do so behind 7 solo home runs, multi-home run nights from Brandon Nimmo and Juan Soto. And Soto, the big story in this one, 4 for 5, 3 balls hit, harder than 109 miles an hour. I mean, he was just barreling up the ball for this team. It was a night that they needed to snap their 7-game losing streak and to feel confident about themselves. It was a night that the fan base needed to feel like this team was ever going to win a baseball game again. And now it sets up a scenario where the Mets can actually win a series against the Philadelphia Phillies with David Peterson on the mound and take back control of the NL East. The big 4, Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, Alonso, they provided 10 of the 15 hits for this team. And as those 4 go, the rest of this team goes. And yes, the Mets now have made it 28 games in a row where they have won when Francisco Lindor hits a home run. So hopefully they can try to keep that streak going when Lindor hits a home run, hopefully in tomorrow's game. A much-needed win for the Mets. They washed the taste out of their mouths after a 7-game losing streak. And like we said, a chance to go for a series win tomorrow.
Chris, right there, again, that's a great note in terms of Francisco Lindor, 28 straight wins when he hits a home run. I mentioned, Lindsay, Friday with, hey, Juan Soto's got to have a stretch here where he puts everything on his back. Well, that top of the lineup that Chris mentioned, Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, and Alonso, you put that 4 up, especially if Soto really gets going here. You put that top 4 in the lineup going in the right direction. You could put that up against any top 4 in the major leagues, but it doesn't just have to be Juan Soto. That's what they proved on Saturday with that lineup.
Yeah, I mean, that top 4 hits 5 home runs. They have 10 hits. They drive in 9. They score 5 runs. That top 4 can single-handedly win 2/3 of their games for them when they can do things like this. Now, obviously, they're not going to hit 7 home runs in every single game, but that top 4, I'd put them up with just about anybody else in the league right now as far as offensive talent and ability to explode like this. And Soto's raised his average now to 256. His OPS is actually higher than Lindor's now. He has an 877 OPS. He's getting closer and closer to the Juan Soto that everybody expected and that you would give $700 million to.
So again, the Mets even up the series in Philadelphia against the Phillies. Rubber game of the 3-game series. Sunday Night Baseball, Jesus Luzardo for the Phillies and David Peterson going for the Mets. But in case you missed it, we do have Mark from Locked On Phillies on this one. Mark, how many home runs did Phillies pitchers give up on Saturday?
Seven home runs the Phillies allow to the New York Mets in game 2 of this 3-game series in South Philly, as the Phillies, as you would assume, take a huge loss in this one. They get beat 11-4. Mick Abel started the game for the Phillies, went 3 innings, allowing 4 home runs, including 3 straight homers in the 3rd inning. Lindor, Nimmo, Juan Soto. He gave up 2 to Brandon Nimmo. Then you see the Phillies bullpen take over. Joe Ross, home run. Jordan Romano, Tanner Banks, they did not allow a home run. Michael Mercado, you're not going to believe it. He also allowed a home run. Taijuan Walker, no, there's more. He allowed a home run too. Phillies absolutely terrible in the loss as they let the Mets even up the series at a game apiece and also even up things atop the NL East. Also, Nick Castellanos in the 6th inning. I don't know what he was trying to do on that Francisco Lindor fly ball that ended up being a 2-run double, but the Phillies had no answer for the Mets in game 2. Jesus Luzardo gets the ball in game 3.
And again, he goes up against David Peterson. Nick Castellanos seems to be coming out a lot of people's mouths of late, and it's not always positive. He seems to be involved in a lot of different things right now where he can't just get out of his own way.
I mean, he's batting .283. When you look at that, you're like, oh, yeah, Cassie's having a great season. He has 8 home runs in 76 games. And it's like, okay, well, I thought we were doing really well here. And it's just, he's hitting for a lot of empty power. His defense continues to be some of the worst in baseball. They already moved the worst outfielder in baseball in Kyle Schwarber to DH. You can't do it again with Castellanos. He's going to have to be serviceable before you get to the postseason. It felt like the postseason, he's decent in the outfield, but until then, he's just not. And that was, thankfully, they didn't lose them the game today. The 7 home runs lost them the game today.
Yeah. Yeah. And Bryce Harper still remains on the IL right now. And he moves from the outfield to first base as well. Let's stick with the NL East. Your Braves shutout win after losing Friday to the Marlins. They come back shutout victory in Miami on Saturday.
Yeah, Grant Holmes, I think, was fantastic in this one. He let a runner get on third base in each of the first 3 innings, and they never came around to score. He did enough magic today to get his own show in Vegas. But 3 relievers combined for 3 1/3 scoreless, 1 walk. Atlanta got a 2-out 3-run homer in the 9th to push it to 7-0. Ronald Acuna Jr. continues to be absurd. He is outperforming his 2023 MVP year as far as batting average, on-base slug, all of that. And he's starting hotter than he did in that season as well. So they got to keep doing things like this with Chris Sale on the IL. But hopefully, if Grant Holmes can continue going 5 2/3 shutout, they can continue to win without Chris Sale for who knows how long. The team didn't.
I was going to ask, what's best case scenario there?
It feels like it's probably best case 6 weeks. Sean Murphy had an injury similar to this in spring, and he was out 6 weeks. It feels like 6 weeks is probably the best case scenario, but this is also multiple fractures on the left side. Murphy had 1, so we don't know at this point.
Yeah, let's wrap up segment number 1. Angels 6-0 lead after 3 at home in Anaheim against the Astros on Saturday. Able to even up the series at a game apiece, beat the Astros 9-1. Logan O'Hoppe, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, home runs number 15 and 16 on the season. He's got 35 RBIs and 16 home runs. Jose Soriano, 5-5 with the win, 6 2/3 innings, gave up an earned run and struck out 10. Brandon Walter for the Astros taking the loss. He went 6, gave up 7 earned runs and the 2 home runs as well. Ryan Gusto, Kyle Hendricks, the pitching matchup in Anaheim. Astros, Angels, rubber game in that 3-game set on Sunday. The wind was blowing out at Wrigley on Saturday, and we've got the details. Mariners Cubs, Sam Olber provides the update on the Cubbies when we return. It's MLB Game Night.
You ever wake up and think it is a beautiful day for a ball game? And I want to be in the stands of a baseball game. That is exactly where Game Time comes in. It is the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without the stress, because Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. They have incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. I mean, the ability to see exactly what your seats are going to, what the view is going to be from your seats before you buy, and then to see what the final all-in price is with all of the fees and taxes, and to have a guarantee to know that is the best price. There's no better way to do it. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account, Redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Got it. MLB Game Night. Steve Lenox, Lindsay Crosby. Happy to have you on board Saturday into Sunday. It'll be Lindsay and JD from Locked On Cardinals wrapping up Sunday's action with our latest MLB Game Night as well. Sam Ober, we're going to hear from him in just a moment. Wind blowing out at Wrigley's. I touched on in the tease prior to going break on Saturday. Cubs beating the Mariners 10-7. That series now even at a game apiece. Sam does want to credit the offense for the Cubbies, but also a tip of the cap to the bullpen as well. Here's Sam.
Can a team score 10 runs in a game and have the MVP of the game be a reliever? I'm Sam Oler from the Locked On Cubs podcast, and the Cubs did a great job today. Exactly what we talked about yesterday. Elevating the ball, taking advantage of the win. They put up 10 runs, 2 homer day for Ian Happ, big 3-run shot for Bush. PCA got one, Tucker got one. But I thought the biggest sequence of this game, I thought the difference in this game was in the 6th inning. Cubs once led 9-1. It was 10-6 at that point. First and third, nobody out on a crazy windy day at Wrigley Field where everything felt like it was going to drop or leave the yard. Brad Keller comes in to face 2, 3, 4 for the Mariners and punched them all out. And after that, it felt like the Cubs were going to win that baseball game. So credit Brad Keller. I think he deserves a spot in Atlanta too. Maybe we should start talking about that. But big win today, important win. One of those days at Wrigley. 90-plus degrees, really hot. I mean, just like dangerously hot. Hope everybody's okay from that game. There was a reliever, a Mariners pitcher that had to leave. It was just a really, really hot, dangerous day. Nobody could catch the ball in the outfield. Pop-ups. I mean, Cal Raleigh just hit literally a routine fly ball that left the yard. Credit Palencia for still attacking the zone. Cubs did what they needed to do today. They hit a bunch of home runs. That was the difference. Let's see if they can repeat it again on Sunday. Come back and win this series.
Fun note on the conditions. I saw the thing. This is the first time in modern MLB that they've had a game at Wrigley with a temperature over 90 degrees and wind of 20 miles an hour or more. 94-degree temperatures in Wrigley with 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Oof. Cal Raleigh homers in the 9th, third of the series, 30th on the season. And we've still got a couple of weeks to go until the All-Star break. We're going to hit the midpoint for all 30 big league clubs here in the next, I guess, midweek next week. But we're not even close to the All-Star break. I want to venture a guess here next weekend as to what his, home run totals are going to be in Atlanta for your Braves hosting the All-Star game in July.
I'm going to guess he's probably going to be at, it feels like it's going to be at maybe 35, if that's not low.
I'd take the over of that.
Yeah,
I think
it's probably like 39. I find it hard to think of a guy's going to hit 40 homers before the break, right? But
and a catcher
at that, yeah. And when you look at this, I saw the stat today. He has the most home runs in the first half of any switch hitter in baseball history. I'm like, really? Mickey Mantle hit 536, and he never had more than 30 in the first half of the season.
So that's back-to-back days. Past Johnny Bench for most home runs for a catcher, and now for a switch hitter as well. Logan Gilbert, looking forward to this pitching matchup on Sunday for the finale. Mariners and Cubs. Hopefully the wind is neutral. Let's say that. Logan Gilbert, Colin Ray for what is the rubber game of that 3-game series. So the Cardinals come from behind, call it a comeback. Home run from Nolan Arenado in the 9th inning, win it in extras. Our guy JD. He was at his minor league baseball job and at the minor league ballpark. I believe it's a Springfield Cardinals. And with that, the styling and profiling JD from Locked On Cardinals giving us the details on the Cardinals walk-off winner.
The St. Louis Cardinals somehow, some way, end up winning this extra inning marathon against the Cincinnati Reds. Hey, it's JD from Locked On Cardinals. And in no way, shape, or form do the Cardinals actually deserve, really, to win this game. Lots of mistakes. A lot of shabby baseball played in this one. But give them credit. They never quit. They keep going until the final out is made. Nolan Arenado tying the game up with that home run in the 9th inning. Extra innings, bases loaded, nobody out, unable to score. You feel like that's going to be the end of it. They're for certain going to lose this one. But it doesn't happen. They get out of a couple jams, and then Joel Pozo with the walk-off hit. Cardinals win it by a score of 6-5, a series victory over the Cincinnati Reds. For the latest updates and info, be sure to keep it Locked On Cardinals.
Fun fact, that is the Florence Yaws of the Frontier League is what that is.
Okay. They had Jimmy
Yeah.
Buffett Margaritaville night on Saturday. JD was if there were awards, JD certainly is, at least honorable mention, if not better. And I'm gearing towards better.
Yeah, best fashion we've ever had come on MLB game night right there.
Yeah, from a ballpark. Yeah, that's the category. Best fashion from a ballpark. He's got it. Our guy Jeff Carr, Locked On Reds, he does a lot from the ballpark as well. And, as JD says, there's a theme here. The Cardinals fortunate to win their fifth in a row on Saturday. Home run by Arenado, win it in extra innings. But on the other side, as Jeff says, the Reds just sort of, they blew this one in a lot of different ways.
Starting to wonder about Chase Petty. I think that his performance has been weird, but the way that the Reds are using him is even weirder. What's up? This is Jeff Carr from the Locked On Reds podcast. And the Cincinnati Reds gave away a game on Saturday that they should have won. I wanted to talk about the fact that Elly De La Cruz had an amazing game despite throwing up and staying in the ball game, hitting a triple, albeit he was thrown out trying to stretch it inside the Parker. And then he hit a massive 2-run home run to give the Reds the lead. The bullpen blows it. They go to extra innings, and Chase Petty comes into the 11th inning. This was a very strange game managed by Terry Francona when it comes to the pitching staff, but I feel like we're starting to see some weird movement with just this one guy, with Chase Petty. I mean, he made his major league debut this season under really last-minute need circumstances, and it seems like he keeps getting put into these really tough situations. I'm starting to wonder if the Reds might be hampering his development. Hopefully, the Reds can salvage the series and not get swept tomorrow.
Reds now 1-6 in extra inning games this season. That's not a good number.
Well, I mean, it's a bullpen game, and then you go to extras. You're put yourself in a situation where you're gonna burn through your best arms to just get it to extras. I feel like things like this are gonna happen, but they've got to get better results out of Chase Petty. He has to be better. It's not the first time he's taken a loss, and he's been the reason that they lost a game. And again, ugly game. Nobody really wanted to win, but Chase Petty definitely ended up losing it.
Andrew Abbott, 6-1 on the season for the Reds. He goes in the finale against Miles Michaelis, 4-4 Sunday, as the Cardinals will be going for the series sweep. Brewers clinched the series with a 9-0 victory in Game 2 Saturday on the road in Minnesota against the Twins. Brewers have 26 runs scored over the first two games of the series, Lindsay, against Twins pitching.
I mean, we knew the Twins were in a bad place, but we thought the pitching was, minus Pablo Lopez, one of the strengths, right? They have good names, Joe Ryan, all these other guys, and they just can't seem to get it done. And David Festa goes tomorrow. Can he keep Milwaukee from scoring a ton of runs? I don't feel like anybody on the Twins right now can get through an outing without an ERA of 9. And it's just that's where you are. Things are bad for the Twins. They're 3-12 in their last 15 games.
Yeah. Giants come back, even up their series against the Red Sox on Saturday as they hold on for a 3-2 victory. Led 3-0 going to the 9th inning. Camilo Doval gave up a couple of runs, and the Red Sox eventually leave the tying run at third base as Doval was able to get the final out against Romy Gonzalez. The storyline for this one for the Giants, Landon Roop was very good in his outing with 6 scoreless, but Rafi Devers took the collar Friday night in the opener against his former team. His first base hit with the Giants, a home run against his former team. Here's Ben Kaspick.
Of course, Rafi Devers hits his first San Francisco Giants home run against the Boston Red Sox. This is Ben Kaspick with the Locked On Giants podcast. Rafi Devers, happy guy here, it seems. He's talking about he hasn't felt this comfortable in a long time professionally. And meanwhile, we've got David Ortiz out here bashing him left and right, showing screenshots of unread text messages. Sorry, man. He just didn't want to talk to you. It's not personal. Maybe it is. I don't know. But what I do know is that Rafi Devers is happy here. He's a Giant. He hit a 2-run homer in a 3-2 Giants win against the Red Sox. We can forget about last night for now when the Giants, he went 0 for 5. Giants lost the game, but a chance to win the series against Boston tomorrow. And this is the type of game where he makes all the difference. That 2-run homer, the difference in a 3-2 win. So transformative bat in the lineup, and much more of that to come over the next 8.5 years that the Giants have Rafi Devers happy right.
Oh, sorry, Ben, cut you off there, and I did not mean to. I promise you that. But the thing about that home run for Devers, it shouldn't have happened. David Hamilton's second error in 2 games at second base, that continued the inning against Brian Bayo, and Devers goes opposite field and hits the home run. It could have very well been a 1-0 game throughout to the 9th inning. We know things don't always unfold that way, and we could have, should have. But, you know, David Hamilton has to be better defensively. With Christian Campbell going down, he's going to get opportunities, but he may not get many more opportunities. With Trevor Story at shortstop and Alex Bregman coming back, it may be Marcelo Meyer moving over to second base. Who do you have? We don't do this often, but who do you have? Lucas Giolito or Robbie Ray? Who's going to turn in the better pitching performance in the finale on Sunday?
Give me Robbie Ray. He has the track record. Giolito's been a little bit shakier this year. Robbie Ray's not been Cy Young caliber, but he's been a lot better than he was when he came back from Tommy John. Give me Robbie Ray. I'm sorry. I hate it for you because you have to talk about this tomorrow, but give me Robbie Ray.
Rangers now up 2-0 in their series in Pittsburgh against the Pirates. Win on Saturday 3-2. Corey Seager RBI single. Marcus Semien sac fly in the 6th inning to go up 3-1. Rangers just 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position on Friday. 1 for 6 on Saturday. 2 for 17 in the series. Kumar Rocker got the win. Mitch Keller now 1-10. Gave up 3 runs, 2 earned over his outing of 5 2/3 innings. Just no offense. And this is a name from the past because this goes back to me in the 1980s. Jose De Leon. Keller's lost 10 straight decisions. Jose De Leon dropped 11 straight decisions when they played at Three Rivers in the 80s, and that was in 1985.
Oh my gosh. Things just keep getting worse for the Pirates. O'Neal Cruz was in for the whole game, 1 for 3 with an RBI, but there was apparently no disciplinary action for giving up on a play yesterday. And you have to wonder, just like they're just moving on. And like, are you sure that's the best idea?
Yeah. Hey, the Nats able to even up their series. They used the long ball Saturday in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. And D-backs Ketel Marte, he is having himself a series in Denver at Coors Field. Details next. All right, Lindsay, Nationals, Dodgers, that series now even, a game apiece. Nationals 5 home runs, 7-3 victory over the Dodgers. Hey, the Mets hit 7 solo home runs in their win against the Phillies. The Nationals and Dodgers said, hey, we can take BP during the game as well, as they hit 8 total home runs, all solo shots.
I saw all the home runs. I'm like, okay, Dustin May's line had to be awful. He got a quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs, all of them on solo shots. Like, nobody was getting on base outside of hitting home runs. But James Wood absolutely destroyed one. His 21st of the year, 451 feet. One of the longer home runs in baseball this year. And I said it last night. I'll say it again. He's getting more expensive by the day.
You know, this is a team that had lost 11 in a row. And Wood hits that home run, and they took the camera, they followed him into the dugout. And one of my initial thoughts was, A, exactly what you just said. That man's going to make a lot of money during his big league career. And 2, they didn't look like a team. They received him, high five, smiles, chucks on the shoulder, pats on the back. They didn't look like a team that had recently lost 11 in a row and also had their managers sort of say, hey, it's on you guys in the clubhouse as well.
It feels like this team is that close to just hitting another gear and being a contender for the division, being a team that we're talking about hanging around a wild card. They're this close. It might be next season, but they're right there. And James Wood is probably the biggest single part of that.
And forgive me, their reliever in the 9th inning, a lot of very few vowels in his name. And I think it was the Dodgers broadcast that was on MLB Network. And they're like, hey, one of their downsides right now is their bullpen. And they're like, hey, this bullpen's been great tonight. Scoreless baseball. Boom, home run, Teoscar Hernandez.
Zach Brizzik. Yeah, there's there's 7 letters in his last name, and the only vowels are 2 Y's. Yeah, it's like Zach Brizzik.
Love it. But this is a team. You're not going to, Dylan Cruz comes back. I'm a big believer in Dylan Cruz. Great career at LSU. And he's coming. Maybe you can make a case that they rushed him, but he's just like Caglione. He's like a lot of these guys. Nick Kurtz, he's in the big leagues, and he's going to learn how to hit big league pitching in the big leagues after very few at-bats in the minors. But again, After the All-Star break, I really think this team is going to be a pain in the neck to play.
This is a situation like they promoted Brady House last week. He's getting comfortable in the majors after the All-Star break. Similar situation. He's gotten past that learning curve. He's looked good defensively at third. You get the bat in there. Dylan Cruz comes back. Wood keeps doing what he's doing. I don't want to have to face the Nationals a ton. And as a Braves fan, we are going to face the Nationals a ton. That's awesome for us.
Braves, Phillies, and Mets. Yeah, if they can put it together. Soroka, Shohei Ohtani. What do you want to see? What do you expect to see from Ohtani in what is his second start, right? Yeah, he started earlier this week. Monday was his first start of the season. First pitching appearance of the season.
He went 1 inning. He touched 100 miles an hour. I think the goal here is to not get roughed up. He kind of scuffled a little bit that first one and maybe get a second inning out of him. Like he's in a situation they can't send him down for a rehab start. But because of the way that the rules are set up, he has a little bit of roster flexibility. They can keep him and let him do it. Get 2 innings, Shohei. Pitch a second inning just so they don't have to overuse that same bullpen who's been just stressed repeatedly. They have some of the highest inning counts in all of baseball from the bullpen.
Yeah, let's go rapid fire here. I'll take Guardians Athletics. Guardians 4 runs in the second, enough to beat the A Athletics 4-2. Guardians a game over 500. Luis Ortiz 4-8 with the win, 6 scoreless and 10 strikeouts. Jose Ramirez 3 hits, a run batted in. Steven Kwan also 3 hits and an RBI.
Diamondbacks beat the Rockies in Colorado 5-3. 19 runs for the Diamondbacks in the first 2 games of the series. Ketel Marte had the 3-hit game with a homer and 5 RBIs yesterday. He has a 4-hit game, 2 doubles, RBI today. Don't look now. He had 36 homers last year. He's already in double digits. He's at 13 right now. Feels like one hot stretch, he could do it. Eugenio Suarez, solo homer in the 3rd. He's on a platform year. Geraldo Perdomo had a 2-run home run. And Merrill Kelly, some stability. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, only 2 earned, 7 strikeouts. They've won 3 in a row. They've won 8-3 in the last 11. They're absolutely on fire, and they have Brandon Pfaadt on the mound tomorrow.
And he goes up against Antonio Senzatella, who is 2-10 on the season with a 6.72 ERA. Jordan Beck did homer, 10th on the season for Colorado. That was in the first inning against Kelly. Royals, Padres. Padres win on Saturday, 5-1. Even that series at a game apiece. Royals 4-game win streak coming to an end. Fernando Tatis Jr., 2-out, 3-run home run in the 7th inning, made it 5-1. His 14th on the season, but looked it up. His first home run since May 27th against the Marlins. He now has 6 runs batted in the month of June. Those aren't Fernando Tatis Jr. type numbers.
I know the bottom of their lineup has struggled, but that's still surprising that he only has 6 RBI in the entire month. That kind of blows my mind there. But flip side for Kansas City, they did nothing on offense. 4 hits, 0-for-8 run score position. India 0-for-4. Vinny P 0-for-4. Salvador Perez 0-for-4. Hopefully Seth Lugo can carry him to a win on Sunday. White Sox at Blue Jays. Blue Jays even this up. 7-1 win. It's now a 1-1 series here. White Sox only had 2 hits total. Aaron Savali, they just got him. 7 innings, 5 earned runs, takes the loss. Jose Barrios, 7 2/3, 1 unearned run. That's it. It's Adrian Hauser versus Chris Bassett tomorrow.
That wraps it up for our latest edition of MLB Game Night. Every game, every night. Lindsay with JD from Locked On Cardinals wrapping up Sunday's action around Major League Baseball. MLB Game Night, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, available wherever you get your podcast. MLB Game Night, every game, every night.